Hey everyone, it's me, Gassique. Now I'm going to be talking to you about an artist that you should be listening to, and that is Midwife. Let's have a quick listen. So sometimes I hear a song that really resonates with me at that specific moment. It's like I just found something that I'd lost like a long time ago, even though I've never actually heard it before. I think there's a word for it called anemoia, which is basically a nostalgia for something you didn't even experience. And that's what I feel like when I listen to Midwife. And when I first heard Midwife's Song for an Unborn Son, I had one of those moments. Anyway, let's give it a quick listen. So Midwife is one of the monikers of Madeline Johnston, who describes her sound as heaven metal. And when asked to expand on what that means, she states, "I think heavy music isn't always about the sonic quality. It's more about cathartic release of emotion that you feel in your heart, in your body. This does come from big, loud and energized sounds most of the time, but must it always? Can I achieve that heaviness with something soft, something patient? I seek to tap into the same well of emotional alchemy by being quiet. I think music is heavy on a spiritual level." And that's the key here, right? There's a weight to it, but at the same time, sonically, it's like a blissful distortion. It's shoegazy, dream pop style music that feels just as strong as it does fragile. It's intimate and yet it's devastating at the same time. So Madeline Johnston started making music in the DIY scene, which obviously we know that I'm a big fan of, particularly Rhinoceropolis, an underground venue in Denver where she honed her craft. A lot of artists played there: Health, Future Islands, No Age, Dan Deacon, Lightning Bolt, Vivian Girls, and it was a bit of a landmark venue in the area. But the venue was shut down, unfortunately, by the fire department. So she relocated to New Mexico, where her sound took on an even deeper, some would say more atmospheric quality. So Midwife's music is full of reverb. She has vocals that are put through a customized telephone mic, which you can see in her live performances. She uses very raw, confessional, reflective lyrics. And overall, the quality of it just feels so emotional and deep. And as she said, it's quite heavy in its own way. So the first album, Like Author, Like Daughter, came out in 2017. One half was recorded at Rhinoceropolis, usually in the middle of the night. The other half at a friend's place on some old 4-track machine. A discarded mattress adorns the cover. I kind of see this as a mattress being a symbol of safety, of intimacy, of home. And yet here it is just discarded on the street, left to fend for itself. And not only that, like if you look at it, it looks beaten up, like it's been through something. And to me, that kind of resonates with the music itself. It feels like, again, it's a cathartic experience. It's emotion. It's raw. It's there on the street. It's wearing your heart on your sleeve. And that's what gives it that quality. Her 2020 album, Forever, which is a tribute to her friend and collaborator, Colin Ward, who unfortunately took his own life in 2018, is again a very kind of grief-stricken album, but it's not screaming at you. It's very pretty, it's very soft, and it lingers with you long after you've listened to the album. It really does stay with you. Swim is an album from the record, SWIM, and she described it as an anthem for anyone having a hard time, which I think is a great way to describe it. And to be honest, to describe the album generally. 2021, Luminol was released, made during quarantine. And for her, it's about the inner truth. It's named actually after the substance that you see when they are looking for blood and any other kind of human liquid at crime scenes. And it's essentially revealing the truth, right? It helps you examine what's going on. So I think that's quite an apt title for that album. And then her most recent album, 2024's No Depression in Heaven, a title inspired by the Carter family song, invokes a feeling of not belonging, of like a pull towards death. I hope that there's something better in the great beyond. And Johnston herself has said that the album was written on the road, and the idea of us traveling, it's like life being like its own journey, its own separate reality, which I think is quite interesting. Her song Killdozer is about a guy called Marvin Heemeyer in Denver, who was a muffler repair shop owner and basically got sick of those in power. So in 2004, he went on a demolition spree, literally in his bulldozer, and he took down the town hall, he took down the home of the former town mayor before unfortunately killing himself. No one else was harmed, but this was about a man who took action against those he felt deserved it, and this is reflected in the song. There's also a song called Drover, and Madeline had this to say about it. I was thinking about the concept of droving, the duality of the livestock and the droving dogs that herd them, as a cyclical nature of experience and emotion, failure, being in transition. Our bodies are vessels, a vehicle. The song became a memorial piece to those we have lost in the scene, and a reflection on fleeting moments of life and tour. Droving is a reminder to stay present. Life, like this, could be our last song. Dance enthusiasts as well might notice 1999 hit Better Off Alone, but here it's a slow, slightly more melancholic take, but yet somehow manages to keep its relatively happy, upbeat tone in the mirth that surrounds it. So sometimes, like me, if you're in a very reflective mood, if you don't want to necessarily go like balls to the wall and like rock out, but you want a more cathartic, emotional experience, something that's a bit more lo-fi, that's a bit more personal, a bit more intimate, then I would highly suggest giving Midwife a listen. I do find the personal nature of her music quite refreshing. I like the fact that her songs have meaning, that even the artwork, every little minute detail about what she does, there is purpose behind it. It's coming from somewhere. And every single track as well has its own story. And the fact that you can listen to it and you can experience that for yourself, and you can feel like maybe it's resonating with whatever you're going through at that time or have gone through in the past. The fact that her music can reach in and affect you, or me, I should say at least, in that way is very hard to do. And I think for me, that's part of the experience of listening to music. So I'd recommend going out there and giving it a listen, especially late at night, turn down the lights, like just listen to it, let it wash over you. And I think you might find it a therapeutic experience in its own strange way. It's something that I can't say for a lot of other music out there. If you want to know where to start, I always like to say start at the beginning, like author, like daughter. In this case, give that a listen. And if you like Midwife and you want to hear some more, maybe check out her other act, which is Sister Grotto. And also she did bring out an album under the name Mariposa, which might be worth listening to. And she's done a fair few collabs. There's an album called Orb Weaving, which you might want to give a listen to as well. But if you're interested in listening to more or hearing other recommendations, please do subscribe, do like, do comment. I want to hear what you guys think. Maybe you think it's boring. Maybe you think it's wanky, if Americans even know what that term means, or just too much and it's just not your thing. Maybe you don't actually like the production of it, all that reverb, all that kind of compression and whatever it might be. Maybe that's not your thing. If you have other recommendations of artists similar to Midwife, send it my way. I'd love to hear it. But thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.